was going to come to my house. So she's never been apart from the baby. Never. Like, she's Meadow. So I said, you're more than welcome to come too. If not, I am comfortable. I have 3 kids of my own. Like, Malaya, I can take care of this kid. Like, I can take care of the baby, no problem. So first the baby, it was just going to be the baby. And then she decided she was going to come with me. So, but then something changed and we were at the briefing. Her mother said something to her. And then I had to take everything out of my car and put it in her mother's car. And like I said, she had this whole plan. Like, she was going to drive her car into my house. Mm-hmm. And she was going to, and then the plan changed. Oh, I'm going to take the car to my mother's. Like, I'm going with my mother. Well, she didn't even come back for the car. Like, the search and rescue had her car towed to wherever she was because they left the car. That's how much of a hurry that was to leave. Malaya stayed at the house.
Cool J, quit your fucking glazing in my live chat, you knob. You're not making a point. The protest is against the silence in this situation. It doesn't matter about a lawyer. The situation is about Jack and Lily Sullivan and the lies and the silence surrounding that particular moment in time, which you can't go back on. They're not talking about anything after the fact. It has nothing to do with following anybody's advice, lawyer's advice. You shouldn't need to stay silent should the situation be as you described it.
Stayed at the residence Friday night.
And just out of curiosity,
but welcome in, by the way.
Because I think you said something and I wasn't quite sure I understood. When did Malaya's mother arrive at the house?
So she arrived Friday. She was there before I got there on Friday when they went missing. I'm not sure the exact time. We all tried to figure that out. I'm not sure.
Okay. Yeah. And did Malaya's mother stay overnight there?
I am unsure, but she was there in the morning when I got back, when I came back. So she could have stayed the night. Like I said, I am unsure because I didn't stay at the residence that night. I went home. And Daniel did pass the lie detector test.
So what was Daniel's relationship like with Malaya's mom?
From what I understand, Malaya's relationship with her mother was never great. She didn't want to live with her mother. So Daniel's poison is, from what I understand, poison. Like, he always said, and he said this in his interviews over and over again, is...
Oh, Cool J, I'm not treating you like Kent. Not at all. Not at all. Are you making bracelets, Cool J? So they were told the baby, you can have whatever opinion you want. So they were told the baby had to leave the property. Excuse me, I keep missing that, Ginger. So they were told that the baby had to leave the property, but Malaya could stay. Why would CPS remove a child from their parents is the question. That goes against the standard procedures and policies. Yeah, you're pointing out a valid question. I think this is interesting because when you listen to Logan after the fact, by the way, this is Logan, Daniel's kissing cousin and close comrade to Janie, we've come to learn. There's still things that you can pick up after the fact. The way that she talks about this scenario leads you to ask several different questions. And if her account is correct, then what were other people thinking at that moment in time? Like, it seems like they were really trying to put the influence on Malaya in order to keep Meadow around. Oh, I love you, sweet tea. Thank you very much. I love you and Charity. Charity, you're getting some love in chat, darling. Thank you, sweet tea. I appreciate that. Logan is leaving something unsaid, in your opinion, Ginger? Yeah, it shows you right now. It also shows you not just one thing, but going from memory, it tells you the type of individual that Logan is and engaged in. She's really active in trying to throw shade against Malaya, trying to paint her out to be the reason that this is all happening, or she's somehow guilty of perpetrating this hoax on a greater amount of people, that there's no real crime that's having happened here. There's no real disappearance. I think they told Malaya, yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. Not one family member was given temporary care at the time. I would have to say that nobody was there wanting to give them a really clear, concise idea of what went on. They left it as a really high-risk environment where the worst thing has happened. How could you allow any children to be there at that point in time? At some point in time, it's going to be interesting to piece everything together through the RCMP body camera footage from the responding officer all the way through the first day into the second day, up until the fight at the end of the driveway and everybody bailed. That's all on body camera. Discussions. That's going to be an interesting video. Now, Daniel, you'll be in jail by that time. Logan needs to keep her trap shut. Nick, what's your problem with poor Logan? Remember how bitchy she was to Belinda when Belinda dropped by the second day to come and help out? It seems that everybody got called over there to come search, and as soon as you did, you got treated like shit and really antagonized and really provoked to leave. Not, Cheryl gave that impression as well. Although she seems to have a real difficult time finding the right words to match up with things. She's avoiding so hard to really touch true emotions and discuss the case in that situation in any detail. Like, especially being there. Well, I saw it come across on Facebook, and I just thought I'd come over and help out. I see. This was the day, too, as the criminal investigators came on board, something changed. Not to mention, well, the feel, the tone, the energy, the vibe was all off that day. She's not the first one to mention that. Belinda said that. Wade said that. So you have to think everybody else is really saying how bizarre that they felt even being there to begin with. And all of a sudden somebody's bringing you in snacks? What? What the hell are we here for? Like, what do you want us to do? You got us over here. What is it you exactly want us to do? But the point of bringing everybody over in the first place when they're trying to impress upon everybody just how much of an emergency this situation is. They were trying to sell their story, trying to provide them some cover in that sense through distraction. People were really getting that vibe. Janie, this is your house. You should be waiting on people. Do you need would you like some water? All you could do is just avoid everybody and complain, listening to them all laugh inside the house. You're like the Grinch. And they were all the little who's down in Whoville. Ginger, you think that Meadow had to leave because of the rug use and the condition of the home? As soon as Meadow left, Daniel was no longer allowed to see her. Very interesting. I think you're probably right. We're going to get to see that as well, unfortunately. So they all, most everybody describes their experience inside the house as it being cluttered, disorganized, and dilapidated. Like, not in any. It wasn't being cleaned. It was in a very poor condition. Holes in the floor. They got a tarp underneath the hole. Little weird shit going on. It's going to be really interesting to see how exactly Janie, from the perspective, the FPV, the perspective of an officer just standing there watching, like, Danny coming in and out of the picture, dancing around like the tweaker we know he is, and Janie's going to be fake crying and doing her thing over there, avoiding people. We're going to see the dog that never shut up. All these body camera photos exist. So if we're picking up all of these things, like think about the deception indicators, whether you're a fan of plaids or any other style of statement analysis, think about how much better it is when you have it on body camera and you have it at your fingertips at any point in time as an RCMP investigator. We just go off the stuff that we get off of the CBC and CTV and Global and things like that from the press that they open us up to us about. We already know he's lying. They fucking know they're lying. So they must have been really putting on a real show. It was like an Off-Broadway up there in Pictou County. Think about how it's going to look to us and how suspicious we are of them at this point in time. Now it's so blatantly obvious that they've been lying this whole time. Let's go back and watch this little facade through the lens of the body cams from the responding officers. How many responding officers are there? That's how many different videos there's going to be. That sounds like a treasure trove. Fuck, I'm going to host it. I'm going to host this. I'm going to get my ugly mug out on screen and I'm going to sit in front of the green screen and I'm going to walk everybody through it. I'm going to point out the obvious little slips all along the way that Daniel and Janie and even Justin at that point has done. And I bet you somewhere in there, Durwood's going to be hanging around. Like, where's Waldo? Oh, Mimi, thank you, darling. Thank you, AB. Justice for Lily and Jack. Absolutely, it's coming. You can't wait to see Janie's next interview? It'll be in Prison Orange, bro. These are what we have to look forward to in the future. Oh, man. Think about how sketchy Daniel and Janie had to have been those first 2 days. You know, like, I mean, in my mind, and now we've been, Cool J, we've been critical of Cheryl. Well, we got the ugly part over with. Now we could say, and now you can at least, the one part you have to appreciate about it is there is a part there. I'm buffering. Oh, hold on. There's a part there that she witnessed. So there is some value in what Cheryl participated in. Like, she's not just coming in at the 11th hour. She was there and participated in the search and things, right? So she got to experience and witness the key suspect, Daniel, at his best worst. Shannon, thank you for that $10, darling. Hold on. It says my stream's excellent. Good job, it says. Just like Danny. Might be you, Norbeaster. Just give it a refresh. I appreciate that, Shannon. Thank you. Imagine how worked up old Janie was. Janie knows what happened. Janie hears everything that occurred on that property. And with what we suspect to be true is true, she heard the incident that led to the passing away of 2 children, in a sense. Or she knows. I believe it probably happened there on the property. That's very generous of you, Magdalena. Yeah, Sweet Tea, if she wasn't a straight-up participant in it as well, just how much she's tied to it. But I believe that whatever it is, there was no getting around the other person knowing. Like, she overheard or overwatched it, and right away, it's like she really took charge of the cover-up in that sense. That's what I'm suspicious of. Well, we'll have them tell the RCMP before, we need to go out and search at any other point in time. Like, I'm not telling you not to go, because if you're out traveling the wilderness in your 4x4, absolutely you should be searching. Of course you would be anyway. You'd be looking here and there and everywhere. But don't think that old Danny didn't have it stored in a safe spot and hasn't moved it already in that time, or they could be separate spots. God knows where he has stashed his little packages. It's unfortunate that we have to speak like that, Danny, but you've left us no alternative in that sense. Corbin, you're saying Durwood needs to be arrested for putting out misinformation. He should be charged for perjury. Yeah, well, I think if we hold out long enough, we'll probably get to know why he's associated with the family in that sense. And Kent,